one thing I've learned along the way is, as I learned from that young woman in Costa Rica who was fighting to save the watershed, that each of us has the ability to make change. And even if it's limited to our garden, if we stop using herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, toxic chemicals, chemical fertilizer, if we start composting, if we carve up our lawn and plant plants for pollinators, but this also has a ripple effect, because your neighbors are going to take notice, and there will be those who don't like it because of their manicured mindset, which is so entrenched, but so many others, especially those who understand the importance of saving pollinators for future generations and saving our water for future generations. And there's a book that came out not too long ago by a man named Douglas Tallamy. He's an entomologist who has come up with, the book is called Bringing Nature Home, and it's about what we can do by planting native plants in our gardens that attract insects, because insects form the basis of the food web. If we didn't have insects, then birds would not have insects to feed their babies, so we would start losing birds, as we already are. And Doug Tallamy's vision is that if each of us takes our garden and replaces some or all of the grass with native species that attract insects, and he focuses on keystone species, then what we could do is create a homegrown national park, which is what his term for it, which could go a long way towards saving species, saving biodiversity, and creating carbon sinks where, in most cases, our manicured gardens they produce a lot of carbon and other things with the horrible gas-powered leaf blowers, which unfortunately our state legislature has now prohibited local governments from banning, which is just crazy. Don't get me started on leaf blowers. But most people, I recorded a video talking about the difference between my garden and our landscapers who arrived at the same time as the landscapers across the street. Our landscapers who use electric equipment were done with everything in 20 minutes, gone. 4 hours later, still across the street, they were trimming the hedges, they were manicuring the lawn, they were blowing any leaves away. 4 hours later, the amount of carbon that garden produces is just, phenomenal. And most of us don't even think about that. We don't think about the fact that every time we mow the lawn, that is essentially habitat destruction, unless you use herbicide, which is already going to destroy the habitat. But if you don't, and you allow some of these wild native plants to grow, then if you can just reduce the mowing to twice a month, maybe, or even once a month during the dry season, because that enables these plants to grow and the butterflies to lay eggs on them and the caterpillars to eat them, so that they can become butterflies too. So it's just really a shift in how we think about our power, our individual power, and the power of our gardens to do good, to affect change.